pro-life community not so excited about the AP's new style book. They update it regularly for all media outlets, and they use this around the world, especially when they're looking up terms to describe, how should we describe this specific. And so they went into abortion heavily this year with an abortion topical guide. So one example is, instead of saying fetal heartbeat, don't say that, say cardiac activity. Don't say late-term abortion, say abortion later in pregnancy. Don't say someone performs abortions, say they provide abortions. They don't want to use pro-life anymore. They want to say anti-abortion and abortion rights. So this, again, it just shows you how to politicize language.
So the style book is to let other media outlets know how to phrase things. For instance, during the last administration, when we were so actively involved in Washington, they had how to pronounce Sekulow was in the style book.
Yeah.
So now it's using words, and the abortion language it's fascinating that they've gone to this, because what it shows you is how the pro-abortion, which they would have you call abortion rights groups, because you can't say pro-abortion, how far they've influenced the culture when they've got basically the style book of the Associated Press saying, hey, this is the way you need to go.
This is, AP, and they claim that half of the world's population sees their journalism every single day. And so just with what AP puts out, half of the world's population sees this, but then we also know that other news outlets use this same style book. What the AP puts out, they use. And, this is abortion distortion at its finest. They're trying to change the terminology, so we are not talking about the life of a baby. I mean, it's ridiculous when you take out heartbeat and want to say cardiac activity, but they explain that. And they talk about, well, it's just a flickering. It's a flickering. Well, when I had my ultrasound and I heard a heartbeat, that's what the doctor told me, not a flickering or cardiac activity of a baby.
Half your local newspaper is likely AP stories. That's true for papers around the world. So when you look and you see, where did this national story come from? Oftentimes it's at least partly from the AP and then maybe some input from a local journalist. So start looking at it and you will see the influence that we're talking about. That includes online journalism. I'd say maybe like a week from now or 2 weeks from now, if you see an article on abortion, take a pin out and kind of go through and circle all of these changes that you now see from their style book, the way they want it written. And of course, that's how a lot of editors will then implement how they want the language written as well.
Then they say, instead of saying pro-life and pro-choice, you say anti-abortion and abortion right. Cast the abortion group in the negative, the pro-abortion group in the positive. That's what they're doing. You got to fight this on this level, too. It's not just the Supreme Court of the United States. It's not just the Court of Appeals. It's not just the local school board or the local city council. You know what it is? The Associated Press. But this is how far they've come.